Hey guys, what is up? Dave here, coming back to you with a new type of video. A lot of you guys may know about the car accident I was in. I got in a car accident with a semi-truck. It totaled my Honda Civic. Wasn't that bad of an accident, but the cost of repairs was too much compared to what the car was worth. Car was said to be worth $5,100. Damages were about $4,800. So they just gave me the $4,800 on a check. I paid off my Honda Civic, got myself a new car. And you guys might be wondering, well, what kind of new car did you get? Well, you can probably see it on the screen. I am part of a group on Facebook for it. It is the Hyundai Veloster is what I got. I got a 2012. It's 6-speed, really nice. It's got the in-dash touchscreen stereo unit. It's non-navigation, which means I don't have GPS everywhere I go. But it looks like, from what I've been messing with, thanks to this guy right here, who I got to give a big shout out to, that it might be possible to add to non-navigation units. Basically, he was overseas, from what I remember reading. He was overseas. Nobody over there was willing to help him upgrade his unit, but he was having some problems with his head unit, and he needed the update files. So Hyundai actually just sent them to him, told him how to install the stuff, and that's what got us to where we are now. This is basically something he says would be good to add to it if we can. Video and motion hack, possible in earlier firmwares, not in this one, which means you could play videos on your head unit while your car is moving, is what I believe he's trying to get at. And then screen sleep is the light dimming and the screen getting as dark as possible. Right now the screens are extremely bright, even on low brightness. I'll admit this, he admits this. The screen is just bright. It's stupid. But basically, what this series is going to be is me hacking my head unit. It's based on Windows CE 6.0, and thanks to him for us knowing that, and him for the original download for the head unit. So the one that I'm messing with is obviously the non-navigation head unit. And what I have here are the two programs you necessarily need to actually hack the head unit and get everything and do everything you need to do. These two ISO images are, this is Windows CE 6.0 R3, which was the final release of 6.0. So I'm going to make a folder for that, WinCE 6.0 R3. So we're going to throw that in there. That's a, just in case, maybe down the road I want to actually try to put Windows CE entirely on my head unit. And then we need the other one, which is the actual firmware. So firmware. That's going to be this driveh.iso. God damn it. And then the tools that you really need, the only two that you actually need to modify any of the files are going to be LGU to DIR and DIR to LGU. So basically what you're going to want to do is open up the ISO with WinRAR, WinZip, Power ISO, whatever you use. And you're going to want to extract this H folder. So once you extract that, and I know this video actually is only going to pertain to very small amounts of people, or people that own Velosters that are before the 2017 model. 2017 model is a different head unit, and you can actually get Android Auto on those. We can't put Android on ours because it's a different system entirely. So basically, I'm just going to extract that to my SSD here, which, holy crap, it's actually pretty quick. So there. So now we have drive H here, and you can see there's some different things here that you would need. So you need system volume information, the Abraham.exe, that is the main executable file for doing the upgrade and everything, it looks like. And then there's this LGU file, which is kind of a strange file. It's an LGU. You can use Total Commander to open it. You can use some other programs to open it. I like to personally use exactly what's made for it, this LGU to DIR. So you just go in here, drag and drop this here, and then just remember your location. So you're going to want to maybe just highlight the address bar, go from there, and then hold your shift button down So you get open command window here. I don't know why it always opens up red. I've never figured it out. I got a virus a long time ago, and it changed my font color in my command window to always red, and I've never been able to change it back. And I don't know the color code for white, so I always just make it pink. But we're going to do lgu to dir.exe, upgrade .lgu, and then the output is going to be pasted in / extracted. So that's going to start extracting the stuff from the LGU file. Thank God somebody in the Windows CE community has made this program because it makes it a lot easier. And as you can see, it's downloading or getting everything out of there. Slowly but surely, and I'm guessing it didn't end up here. Where did that go? Why do I not see my folder? Oh, here it is. It's because I couldn't do a space in there, so we're gonna just copy or cut it from here. Go to Hyundai Hacking, firmware, extracted, and paste it all here. So there you go. So first I'm going to go over storage card 2 because there's less files in it. So basically in here you have 3 files, and yes, this is the non-navigation head unit. Keep that in mind. You'll see GPS quite a few times, but you know, that's just because it was easier for them to include it and then just disable it in a different location compared to the main navigation head unit. But in the data folder, you'll find these different folder names like Clancy, Hyperion, Info, Iris, Jupiter, Nike, things like that. So basically what these are is they're just folders with the actual data files within them. Now all these files seem to be the same, so I'm not sure the actual differences. Like as you can see, they're all just data like this. That's all they are. I have not yet figured out the link between these files and those, but these give us a lot of heads up on what each executable does. So right now you're looking at the Bluetooth stuff, and then I figured out the create fold.txt literally just tells the system, hey, make a folder here. Info is screensavers. Iris, I have not figured out yet. Jupiter, I have not figured out what that does yet. Oh, come on, go back. Nike, I have not figured out yet. I don't even want to try to say that one. This is something to do with the XM preview. I'm not sure if I'll be able to modify this and suddenly we have free XM radio. That'll be something far down the line that I just mess with, but I think this is all just a bunch of text strings. So this is just for the preview files so you know which stations you're going to get on the preview. I have not yet figured out any way to actually mess with the preview. CGS is just a big config folder. This is all the stuff to do with, again, my brain would work, all the XM radio stuff. So that's not really anything that's crazy important yet. This is just a dummy text file. This is just saying some hardware versions. For some odd reason, back button doesn't let me go back. And then this is just some other pre-compiled stuff. So now we'll go to storage card 1, which is much more fun. So you'll see the kernel is mapped out right here. It'll give you all the addresses and stuff you'll need for different locations of different things while they're running. I'm not a huge person when it comes to ripping stuff like that apart, but I'm sure there's people out there that'll understand that and be able to explain it. And then this is going to be some stuff for actually running the kernel, running the system. One of the biggest things that I personally want to find and figure out is a way to make the clock stay in the screen longer. Currently there is a button that you press, and on that button press, that gives you the clock on screen. You can do an analog or a digital. And no one has ever figured out a way to get the clock to stay on screen longer than 10 seconds. Really annoying thing. I'd rather use it for a screensaver personally. I'm going to mess with it a bit and try to figure out which executable file is the clock. And at that point, once I figure that out, I think I'm going to try to change something like the XM radio button. You hit that, and it takes you to the clock instead of taking you to the XM stereo. Because personally, I don't have XM radio. I always use the USB for music, or I use CDs. I don't use radio. It's just not something I use. But in the VR, I believe this is stuff for, these are for the GPS. I have not yet figured out what these raw files are. I can't open them in any way. They're just sort of here. I don't know what they are. So I'll figure that out later. Come back to you. This is text-to-speech stuff. And this is the vocab for the GPS, so it knows how to say certain things. Here is the system. This is where all the executables are for controlling the entire system. So as you can see, you have Clancy here, you have Cupid here. I started making a text file outlining what each item is. As you can see, Grace Note is a pollen, so right here. I'm not sure what Grace Note does yet. I haven't looked at my instruction manuals. Maybe somebody with a Veloster or a Hyundai can explain it. Cupid.exe, which is in here as well. Right here seems to be what controls text on screen for things like battery discharge warning and no disk found. Gaia is the XM radio station. Once I figure out which one does the clock, I'm actually just going to try the simple swap of renaming, the clock executable to Gaia.exe, and we'll go from there. And then Hermes is stuff that controls other text on the screen, like my Eco MPG, turn by turn. And then there's a lot of other executables in here. There's this blank MP4 file that I don't know what it does. I might try exchanging that out for something to see if it changes anything. But there's a lot of stuff in here, and this is where you're going to want to look if you want to actually mess with anything. Is scrolling through here. There's some text files. They aren't that important. Sound. So I'm not sure what these PCM files are. I have not yet figured that out, but I'll figure it out eventually. Looks like a lot of dummy space used up. No readable text for the human eye, but it's there. Now I'm going to skip skin so I can save it for the end. Model is just like car list. This controls which car, so it knows which one you have. Language, again, this is going to be like the stuff that actually says things on screen. IBM, not language. IBM is, I believe, stuff for the either the text-to-talk or let's see here, or something to do with the GPS. Not sure yet. Grace Note, again, this is the stuff for Apollon. This tells you what version you have. And then, this is a really big file. GNDB. I should be able to extract that, I believe. Wow, I haven't even gone through this yet. But I should be able to figure out what that is eventually. I actually saw some readable text in there. So let's actually open that up again real quick. We'll do like dance. So, pass the flask? What the heck is this? I don't know what this is. The very best of the Doobie Brothers. Ooh, that's good. The best of the Doobie Brothers. I wonder what this is. I wonder if it's something I can extract somehow. I've heard of this file type before, but I don't really know what it is. Curtain call. Ooh, that's M&M. There's some good stuff in here. I wonder what this is. Camp Rock 2. My God. Oh my God, there's Britney Spears in here. Jesus Christ, we're closing that now. I don't know what this is. This is a database list. Interesting. Interesting. Genres. Here's the actual config. I gotta figure out what... Whoa. That's a 500 megabyte file. .cam. Not sure what this is. This has got to be all the album arts from that first albums list. This is a big file. Yeah, that's nuts. But, you know, like I said, I'll figure it out. This is a table file. There will be some readable text in here somewhere. Who knows what that is? The fonts, you can change the fonts by downloading yourself a new TTF file, rename it to this, and then put it back. Firmware stuff, Bluetooth stuff, key microphone, and some other stuff, and the bootloader. So, skins. So there's 3 skins in here. So there's going to always be 3 skins. It just depends on which one you want to use. I am working on seeing if I can add a 4th one. I'll find that out at a later date, of course. And I want to see if I can load them off of USBs. See if I can maybe just add the code to do that, get somebody who will add that for me, or figure that out later. But right now, the only modification I've really made to this so far is right in the common areas of here. So this is the original menu stuff, or the original background stuff. I still have the cars from the Nitto Legends days, obviously, because I'm a Nitto buff, I guess you could say. So I took these images of these cars and actually put them in my testing area. That's different. This is the Android update, so the Navi APK and all that. But here's the unpack of the first time I did it. So this is the difference, is there's one more folder for the navigation one. But as you can see, it's all set up very differently for the navigation, which is why it doesn't work if you try to put navigation on the normal one. And then here's your analog clock and all that. But, where's my skins? I think I'm looking at the wrong one here. I gotta be looking at the wrong one. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one. I need to go here. Sorry about that. No, wait, this is where I was. Oh my God, where did I put my themes? Okay, here it is. I am in the right one. So as you can see, I embedded the car into the background on some of these images, and you'll be able to see them there, and then on the Veloster screen, it'll actually have the 2 red custom Velosters on it. I mean, it's just me doing something quick to see if it'll work. This is the first modification I'm going to make and actually kind of trust myself flashing. I don't know how smart that is, but eventually I am going to come in here and also open up things like this in a program called IDA Pro. This stuff actually gives you a look at the physical code for any program that you have open. So it's very useful. Now the thing with this is it's very memory heavy. Luckily I have a good computer. I'm not going to save this. I'll show you how it works real quick. So basically I'm going to grab this. It's going to be a little slow because I had that open for a long time. And we're going to go to the storage card, and I'm going to see if I can open this bin file. It should auto-recognize the file type, so it realizes it's a meta PC binary file. We'll do 32-bit. Oh boy. It's trusting me to do something. This is not a good idea. But here's all the code for the main system. Now, I am in no way experienced in modifying at this level, although I have friends who are. So luckily, this isn't a huge file, I guess we could say. And looking through it shouldn't be really that hard. We'll be able to figure out what's what. But as I can see so far, there is not much in the way of anything to this specific binary file. Basically all addresses and offsets and nothing really else. So I wouldn't say that one's important. But we can definitely check another one. Let's check one that we know what it is. We'll do Gaia. So it knows it's a portable, which it should be. Let's let it go. It'll debug. Don't display again. I don't have that, so we're not going to be using it. I hate when it goes into that view. No. There we go. So, now, yeah, we don't really have any of the function names and all that. We do have some of it. So, I mean, we at least know, like, what kill timer is going to look like and set timer, end paint, whatever that means, draw text W. This is a very important normal thing you'll find in any Windows-based software is draw text, because this is how it draws the text, the color, the texture, updating the window, etc., etc. Mem copy, very important. So you'll see memory copy. Basically, this actually modifies memory while it's running. Show window and a whole bunch of other stuff is in here. Nothing crazy important, it looks like, that we yet know what it is. And I don't think we really have a way to figure out what these functions actually are or do until we really tear into this, looking for things like strings. So looking for strings when you're looking at this kind of stuff, function strings. So you can go through here and you can kind of figure out what's what. So tuner stuff. Let's see if I can find anything to do with time. Set timer, on timer display, okay. Doesn't look like that's anything to do with clock. Nothing to do with clock here. So I don't see anything to do with the clock or anything here. Yeah, nothing to do with the clock, unfortunately. But you know what? We'll find the clock eventually and hopefully be able to do something with it. Let's open up one more of these guys. Let's open up a different one. I'll open up the iTask Manager. Give me the normal text view. And then we'll open up strings again. That's right, I have to go here. I should really just learn the keyboard shortcuts. It's just been a long time. I haven't messed with this much. So this is a task manager that's actually built into our systems. I don't believe we have access to it, but it'll tell us the amount of memory and the CPU usage, things like that, like your normal task manager on Windows. Now, something else I wanted to show you guys. One more thing is I have been doing a lot of research. Been trying to figure out this whole thing with Windows CE and all that. And I did find some software made for Windows CE 6.0 for touchscreen devices like phones and tablet PCs. Basically, our head units are tablet PCs. That's all they are. Now, I found an HTTP server that makes a web server on the computer that you're accessing. So basically, you see that 192.168.0.7. So that's going to be 192.168.0.7. Can you see me? That means it's working. That's a basic HTTP browser. And then there are small settings for it, for naming the scripts and the folder and the servers and all that. And then you can close it, and that ends it. So this is something that's possible to run off of our head units. And then there's the arcade dropper. This one doesn't run on my PC, which means it should run on the head unit as well. Basically, it's that basic arcade game where there's missiles shooting down from the sky and you have to block them. That's what that game is. So I'm going to try to find a way to at least add those into the head unit as well at a later date. No promises on that. Again, I'll probably always use the XM radio function to test stuff like that, but right now I want to know that my custom theme works before I go ahead and start adding programs, for example, because, you know, adding programs is much different than changing a picture. So, but anyway, guys, there is a lot more to this, but I'm thinking about making it an entire series where every time I make a modification, I'll tell you guys about it, and I'll let you know what it is, what we can do about it, and see if there's anything more we can do. Because making this storage file here a folder, or a reusable again, you just use the dir to LGU. So this is the one where I have the skin modified, right? Yes. So you go in, and again, just go command prompt, and you go God damn it. There we go. You go dir to lgu.exe h or k : / unpack / h / dump to dump.lgu. Oh, god damn it. dir to lgu dump k : I swear that's how I thought you did it. Unpack / h. There we go. Now it's making me a new LGU file. It'll let me know once that's done. It's making the CRC checks and everything to make sure the file is legitimate. And once that is done, which it can take a while to do, you have your new upgrade file. You'll be able to put it on the USB with, like usual, by making the bootable USB plug. And from there, you'll have your modified firmware for your Veloster, or it should work for any of the other Windows CE-based systems for Hyundai that are made by LG as well. So basically, you know, this video, yes, it's very long. I'm sorry about that, but it's the only way I could really fit everything in that I wanted to talk about for the overview of what this series might turn into. Hopefully I don't break my head unit. If I do, I can always go back to the dealership and be like, hey, I ran an over-the-air update and it broke. and hopefully they reimburse me there, because you know, I don't want to have to drive around with no radio, even though eventually I do want to replace it with a Windows-based or an Android-based system. So as you can see, there we go. We got the new upgrade .lgu file, and we'll be able to test some stuff out and hopefully boot this up on my head unit eventually soon. I did finally get a new phone, so I can do a recording in my car of when I test this and when I boot it up, but it does take a long time, and you actually have to have, you can't have your car running, I believe, but you do need to give yourself like an hour's worth of time to run this upgrade through, which is one thing that kind of sucks, and one reason why I hope I can find a way to do this from USB. To load custom themes and things like that at a later date. But you know what? We'll figure it out when the time comes. Like I said, I really want to get that clock to stay up permanently, as well as do others. And video while in motion would be awesome. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.